We are going back to Battle for Azeroth in multiple ways. BFA is back. We are getting BFA Timewalking, the return of horrific visions. I mean, you might as well be calling this BFA Classic at this point. If you remember Battle for Azeroth, I have fond memories of it. I'm excited for some of this stuff. Let's jump into everything coming in patch 11.1.7 for Timewalking BFA.
Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about Battle for Azeroth, and more specifically we're going to talk about Battle for Azeroth Timewalking, which is finally coming to the game in patch 11.1.7. In this video we're going to go over everything you need to know about Battle for Azeroth Timewalking, all the rewards, which dungeons, all that good stuff. But before we jump into that, guys, I do want to give a quick shout out to everyone over on the Patreon. Just started posting over there fairly regularly, so if you want to support me over on Patreon, I'll leave a link down below. Right, so yes, finally, we are getting Battle for Azeroth Timewalking. After so many years of just kind of not getting it, and we got Classic last time, I think was the last one we got, we are finally getting BFA, and BFA is looking pretty good. Unfortunately, no raid with BFA Timewalking, and no raid in general.
I would love Battle for Desire lore Timewalking. I love that. That raid was one of my favorite raids, both in the story, the implementation of the raid, the way you would switch faction sides. I thought it was a great raid. That would be a really cool one to see in Timewalking version. The only thing is if it's cross-faction, it would be kind of awkward as to in terms of like which faction you are and how you flip. That's probably why they won't do it.
Being added to Timewalking with the latest Turbulent Timeways, which is coming in 11.1.7. There's going to be a new...
I call it Battle for Azeroth? It's Battle for Desire lore. I don't know if I said that right.
Turbulent Timeways event, which I'll probably do another video on, as there is some new rewards from that. Like this awesome pirate dragon mount. Yes, our captain is a mount, it seems. Man. But... Battle for Azeroth Timewalking. So, of course, this will join the regular scheduled Timewalking once Turbulent Timeways has completed. As you'd expect with this Timewalking, there will be a reputation buff. So while the event is active, reputation gains from combat and quests for Battle for Azeroth reputations will be increased by 50%. So that's really good if you do have some reps that you still need to catch up on. Now, one thing that is coming in 11.1.7...
One thing I will say about reputation grinds and everything that comes with it, if you really want to just deck out your player housing shit, I would say grind out reputations for aesthetics that you like, because I have a feeling they're going to attach the reputations to some pieces of furniture and stuff like that. So if you love a pirate aesthetic or a Zandalari aesthetic, I think this would be a really good time for you to grind out some of those reps and make sure that you're all repped out, because I feel like some of the reputation quartermasters are going to be selling furniture. It just makes sense to me, lore-wise and everything else, that you could get furniture for a certain faction or a what's it called, sect of the game by being exalted with them.
That I do want to quickly touch on is the fact that they are increasing the difficulty of Timewalking. Now, I have tested this thoroughly on the PTR, and I'll be honest, it does not seem much different. Maybe a little bit different for lower levels. We did have a level 10 tank in there that was saying they were taking a ton of damage, but for the most part, we did actually get through pretty much every dungeon without any wipes. So I think we had one wipe in King's Rest where we pulled a little bit too much, but beyond that, we basically slammed all of these dungeons, which is a great segue to talk about the dungeons featured. With Battle for Azeroth Timewalking, there are 6 dungeons featured. You will be able to go into a Time Warp version of Atul Dazar, Freehold, King's Rest, Shrine of the Storm, Temple of Sephoralis, and the Waycrest Manor. Now, with this difficulty increase to Timewalking, they have updated the...
Waycrest Manor, probably the one I'm least excited for. We had it in a Mythic Plus rotation. It's just not a dungeon that I really like that much, but the other one's really cool. King's Rest was a fun one.
In all Timewalking dungeons to Adventurer, where it was previously Explorer track. So, yeah, slightly better. That's equivalent to Heroic Dungeon, so still kind of not relevant for a lot of people, but of course there will still be the Timewalking quest to do 5 dungeons. Now, more importantly, there are a bunch of brand new rewards for Battle for Azeroth Timewalking. Right, so let's go through some of the vendor items. There's actually tons of vendor items for the BFA vendor. This vendor is called Cherbro, and he's located in Borealis and in Zandalar. So, yeah, it is actually the same NPC for both, and it doesn't seem like there's any Horde or Alliance exclusive items in here. So, first of all, we have 2 brand new mounts. We have the Reigns of the Moonlit Nightsaber and the Reigns of the Ivory Savage Mane. Both of these are...
Yeah, we did look at these before. These look great. These are really, really cool mounts. As far as mounts go, this BFA Timewalking event is probably one of the best we've seen.
Available to the Alliance and the Horde, and will cost you 5,000 Time Warp badges each. There's also some transmog ensembles. You have the ensemble Ashvane Smuggler's Attire. Yes, we are finally getting long coats for everybody. This is a great looking set with different variants here when you do get the ensemble with different colors and whatnot. A very cool set for 2,500. You also have the ensemble Bloodsail Smuggler's Attire. Once again, different options for the pants as well, with different colors, which is cool. And that's again 2,500. You have the ensemble Golden Fleet Sailing Garb, which is more of a Zandalari sort of themed item, but again, available to everybody.
Could be a Zandalari NPC.
Comes with a robe version and a different chest, as you can see there. And there is a similar one in a different color with the same options, and both of those will cost 2,000 Time Warp badges each. Next up, you have a helm. You have the Time Lost Tempest Caller. This is a helm transmog, which is, I believe, the first time we've seen this transmog before, which is cool. I think this item was actually like one of the relics in BFA with Xal'atath and things like that.
Yeah, it was the Xal'atath and the Zoth quest line. We got one of these relics, so we talked about this before. There's a lot of really cool lore items in the game that are starting to appear in Timewalking. I like what Blizzard's doing with this kind of stuff.
That's 1,000 tender. That is a cosmetic helm, so that's available to everybody. The Fang of Seth Rallis as well, which is a one-handed dagger. You have the Blade of the
really
Prophet,
cool
which is another one-handed dagger. The Blood Witch Hex Cane, which is a offhand, which actually looks really, really cool. A lot of these items are actually...
Oh, it's a blow dart thing. That's what it is. I was saying, what is this? Like some kind of staff? No, it's got the opening for the mouth and the little darts right here. It's a blow dart thing. Imagine you could actually shoot. Imagine hunters could shoot out of this thing instead of shooting out of a bow. That'd be freaking cool.
Used appearances from Battle for Azeroth, so they are finally coming in with the Battle for Azeroth vendor. So that's 1,500. You have the Calming Cane, which is slightly different, more of a Zandalari theme
also
there.
Cool. Blow
you have
dart
a
thing.
one-handed mace called the Tide Guard's Blessed Gavel, which is pretty cool looking. You have the Parrot King's Hook Leg as well, which is a one-handed axe. The Witch Hunter's Short Sword, which is a one-handed sword. You have Randunk's Wrench, but there's a lot of different letters and numbers and things like that. I think this is based off of the Tools of the Trade from Battle for Azeroth. Remember that came in very briefly? I think that's what this is based off. I think this is also an unused appearance for a weapon, which is cool. But yeah, a two-handed mace there. We have this two-handed axe, which is very Zandalari themed. A big old sword, which I believe is a recolor of the one from King's Rest. If you warriors remember that, getting that every single season of BFA. You have the Stormcrook of the Faithless, which is a two-handed staff, which looks really great. I like that a lot. You have a two-handed polearm called the Nazmani Blood Drinker. You have this very unused bow from Battle for Azeroth, which is awesome looking. It is the Dark Ranger's Black Bow. This is 1,500 Time Warp badges.
Doesn't that look like Sylvanas' bow from the expansion? It really does.
Much requested, I think, and that's going to match, obviously, a lot of the kind of Dark Ranger stuff we've had over the last couple of years. We have a shield called
the Waycrest Training. What I mean, a lot of them. You got to remember, these are like just there's some standard item. Not every item is going to look like a fucking epic weapon. Some people really do like to RP as almost just like your average Kultiran or Zandalari. Some of these make you look like NPCs. They fit an aesthetic that. It doesn't have to always be over the top epic. Everything doesn't have to look insane. You can get that stuff from Raid. This kind of fills up that mid to bottom end where you just want to look like a natural NPC walking through the world.
Buckler, which I believe is unused.
There's NPC
along with
fetishes
the 7th
out there,
Legion
guys.
Commander's Crest, which is also an unused shield.
That is a badass shield. Now you could say some of these didn't look good. Holy crap. This is a really cool looking shield.
Transmog, which is cool looking. You have some pets. You have the Flot Sam Harvester pet. Then you have the return of the Time...
I'm a dude playing another dude. That's right. Some people just love to play that way. So the Timely Busby, this is important. The reason why this is important that this showed up is because the new dragon, Time Captain Hooktail Mount, that we're going to be able to get from the BFA event, that one right now is attached to the same achievement that the Timely Busby was once attached to, which means if you miss out on getting this thing, because there is like a timing aspect to getting these two mounts, that you have 6 weeks to get this stuff, and you have to participate in the event for 5 of the 6 weeks to be able to get the Time Captain Hooktail mount. That was the same thing for this Timely Busby mount, and now it's available for, what is it, I think 5,000 Time Warp badges, which means most likely if you miss out on getting the Time Captain Hooktail mount this time around, it will eventually show up in a vendor like this for 5,000 badges.
This Busby, which is of course from the last Turbulent Timeways. This happened before with the Sandy Shale Wing as well, so we will be getting...
Yep, and the Sandy Shale Wing was another one, same thing.
The previous achievement reward as a vendor item, which is nice. Then you have some random kind of leveling recolor items. So you have like these shoulders from the leveling for the Alliance and Horde, which are available. And yeah, in different armor types and things like that. You have some cloaks as well, which are just some unused colors, I guess. These are super cheap, 25 Time Warp badges, 35 Time Warp badges. Yeah. You also have some weapons as well. You have this one-handed axe, which actually has some stats. I don't know why it has stats, but it does. You have this one-handed mace as well. You have the Junkyard Clobber Stick, which is also a one-handed mace. You have the Toll de Gore Pocket Shank, which is a one-handed dagger. The Azerite Carved Ritual Kris, which is actually really cool. I like the coloration on there. Obviously, Azerite themed. The Crackling Stormbow of the Devoted, which is an awesome-looking bow. Unfortunately, doesn't come with a quiver, but yes, a very, very nice bow. The Sea Glass...
Man, all the Sethrak stuff is so... Look at the snake heads right here. Man, what a miss that we didn't get these guys as a playable race or something. Their aesthetic is so cool. Instead, we got the fox boys and girls, you know. Had to help the furries out.
Very, very nice bow.
With their butt plug tails. Absolutely wonderful.
The Sea Glass Ritual Rod, which is a off-handed weapon. Another shield here. You have the Blessed Bulwark of Zanchulu. I think it's pronounced like that, something like that. There's the Ashvane Ore Crusher, which is a kind of glowing sort of like Coltiran mace,
a really
which is
cool
nice.
Mace.
You have this giant two-handed sword, which is obviously from Nazjatar, but that is fantastic.
That is a long boy katana. What the hell? That's a really long sword. Compensating for things.
You have a polearm, the Freehold Boarding Halberd, and the Siren Slayer's Trident, which is another polearm transmog with a bit of like Azerite
in there,
on there. The final weapon is the Pilfered Golden Scepter as well, which is a two-handed staff. So on top of all those cosmetics, we do have some reputation tokens. These will grant 300 reputation each and will cost you 50 Time Warp badges. So for the Battle for Azeroth vendor, you can get reputation with the Champions of Azeroth, the Tortolan Seekers, the Rustbolt Resistance, the Rajani, yes, the Oldham Accord, the Order of the Embers, the Proudmoore Admiralty, the Storm's Wake, the 7th Legion, and the Waveblade Anakoan. Of course, for the Horde, you will have the Horde equivalents of all of those reputations as well, as you'd imagine.
Sure.
But yeah, that is the vendor for BFA, which has some fantastic looking items. And that's it. That is everything you need to know about Battle for Azeroth Timewalking. It's kind of what we expected. I'm a big fan of all of the vendor rewards. I think there's so much good stuff there. Unfortunately, it is kind of expensive, so you will need to save up some of those Time Warp badges. But with Turbulent Timeways returning, you should get a ton of them in the new patch, which is currently scheduled for June 17th. So it's very likely that'll be the day.
June 17th. Man, that's just around the corner. The thing, I'm surprised he didn't get more into the Timecat and Hooktail Mount, but I'll go over that.
The Battle for Azeroth Timewalking starts, which is, yeah, just over a month from this video. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know down below what you think of Battle for Azeroth Timewalking coming in 11.17. Finally, I'm super excited for it. But if you like this video, guys, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And also, I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft,
we rate them all the time.
11.17 PTR, all that good stuff, over on twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.
There it is. The main thing is I wanted to talk a little bit about the Timecat and Hooktail Mount because it's such a big deal. This thing showing up. It's the same way as the Busby Mount. We've talked about this already before. You're going to have to do this achievement or get this buff for 5 weeks of the 6 weeks. The way you get the buff is by running 4 Timewalking dungeons. Now those 4 dungeons have to be run with like less than an hour in between each one because you have to stack up the buff that you get from each one 4 times. Okay, so running 4 dungeons with less than an hour between each one so the buff has enough time to stack up 4 times. You have to stack that buff 4 times, at least 5 weeks. Okay, so you got to do the 4 stacks 5 times to get this achievement. You do it once a week, and you can miss one of the weeks because this event is live for 6 weeks. One of the weeks can be missed. You got to do it 5 times, and you will get yourself this mount. Now, if you miss out on getting it, I'm going to Disney World during this freaking patch. I'm still trying to figure out if I'll be able to get this maybe one day before I leave, and then the one day when I get back to make sure I don't miss the week. But if you miss it, it'll probably be made available just like the Busby mount has been made available for 5,000 Time Warp badges in the next Time Walking event. But overall, nice video from Mr. GM.